Getting that set up right.
We are live.
Yay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is our second workshop in our May Mental Wellness. We have some amazing practitioners with us today. Some of the most wonderful and most dedicated practitioners we have. We have Lori Sheffer, Mary, hi there, Mary Madsen-Heskin, and Karen Hibble tonight, and very exciting night. Tonight we are going to start with Lori Sheffer. And Lori is an Andean shamanic practitioner, psychic medium, and vocal sound channeler. She's going to begin with a discussion on the energy of love, living in the Munay. I try to practice that, which is a Quechua word for love. So very exciting, and I'm very excited to have you all share this with us. The practitioners have been working very hard and have donated their time to us today for this great cause. So, Lori, I'm going to have you take it away.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. If anyone's out there never seen, I do a lot of TikToks online, and over yesterday I did one on love and the importance of opening our hearts and loving ourselves. So we're going to go into that. But first of all, I just want to take a moment to connect with each and every one of you that is listening and watching right now. Oh, just inviting you in, your energy, come on in, allow that energy to just come into this etheric space that we're creating tonight, to be present in this moment with us. That's a really important thing for our mental health, by the way, to make sure that we are present and available. Often many of us try to make ourselves available for others, but we're not very good at making ourselves available for ourselves. So that's what I want to start with. I am an Andean shamanic practitioner. I began to study Andean shamanism back in 2010. It's a tradition that dates back to the Inca, and the story goes that these beautiful indigenous people, the Quecha, were high up in the Andes Mountains above Cusco, Peru, and they were able to keep this knowledge alive because they were so far up in the mountains, no one even knew they were there. And they started to come down in the 1940s and to bring it because they received a message from spirit and the way that they speak with spirit from the ancestors. And they said it was time to bring this down because we were going to be facing some issues, and we are currently, that are going to need us to be able to live from the heart, to be able to communicate with each other. And the only way we're going to survive is if we work together as a human race. And so with, Mother Earth and with all that is, it's really important to understand that in the Andean tradition, that everything is energy, that we are composed of energy, that everything is energy. So we're not separate. We're not separate from the earth. We're not separate from the divine. We're not separate from each other. We actually are all energy. Now we contain this energy in this body. And as we look at the earth and we look at the trees, we often walk around thinking, oh, there's a tree. That's a beech tree. That's an oak tree. There goes a raccoon. Oh, this is a beautiful pond. But we sometimes in our busy lives, especially for those of us who live around concrete and live in cities, we become disconnected and lose the understanding that we're all part of the same thing. And within that becomes a loneliness. It is easy to feel alone. And I know I have some beautiful mental health practitioners on here with me tonight. And with COVID, more and more people began to feel alone and isolated and disconnected. So what I want to work with you tonight is to begin to reconnect. The first thing I want to reconnect you with is yourself. I receive a lot of people into my private practice who are looking for a connection to their soul, who are feeling lost in what they're going to do next, who are feeling like the journey they're on in their life has hit a brick wall, or maybe always was a little lost, and they're really looking for a way to live more authentically, to live a path, to walk a path that they feel is making a difference, that they feel brings them joy, that brings them connection with others. Many of us throughout our lives have had situations where we have faced traumas and difficulties that have taught us not to trust, that have taught us that it's safer if we keep our guard up because then no one can hurt us. So I, in a little bit, am going to take you on a little bit of a journey into your heart. So what we're looking at here is something called Munay. And Munay is a verb. It's to love, but it's much, much bigger. Munay is the energy of love. And we know that what we put out to the world, we also bring back to us. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the work, and I forget the name of the individual who did it, around water. And the idea that if you like put the word love on the water and you put love into the water, it's a different vibration. The molecules change versus other words. And this is sort of the same thing with this. This is the same thing with this. When we put love into us, the vibration of love, then that grows within us. So how do we grow the vibration of love? We first of all have to be willing to look at what we're holding in us. Those places of anger, of distrust, and we begin to, the sadness, and we begin to really travel within to go, okay, so you look at anger, and there are these places where you have suffered trauma that your response has become to be anger may have been the thing that saved you, or you're just angry about that, or you feel defeated, that no matter what, I just can't get ahead. I don't care what I do. My health continues to suffer. I'm trying so hard and nothing's changing. When we focus on that, when we constantly, and I got all my aches and pains too. And I do know, though, that the more I focus on my aches and pains, that they take up more space in me. So I really try instead to look at what I'm doing right, to bring in things that I call the sweetness, not to eat too much chocolate, though. I'm really bad at that. So what I'm going to do at this time is I'm going to do a journey with you, and I want to activate your heart center. And through that, I just want to take you into your heart. Now, I know your heart is this muscle right in here. And yes, it's physical, but we're talking about the heart center that is, often we think of it as a chakra. In the way of the Inca, the Quecha, there are actually three centers. And there is the center of the Yankai, the Munay, and the Yankee. And so we've got the third eye, we have the heart, and we have the stomach. And the stomach is where our belly button is, and that's our navel. I mean, think about when you were born, you had that cord that connected you with your mother. When that cord is cut, oftentimes there's a disconnection that occurred, or that's where you're drawing in all the negative energy. So that disconnect becomes more and more so. So it's important to work on all the things that you're holding within you. But for now, we're going to start with our heart. I hope I'm making sense. So I'm going to ask you to become comfortable. Closing your eyes and allowing yourself to settle. You can take a nice big deep breath and then bring it in and then release it in your own speed. Let's do it again. All the way down, down, down to your feet, and then let it release slowly. This time, bring it in knowing that you're going to connect yourself to the earth, bringing the air in all the way to your toes, and knowing that your feet now are being connected with our sacred mother. Oh, and in that connection, feel a shift begin to occur. It's as if we have shifted into a different space. We're in this beautiful cave, this gorgeous cave with these crystals coming down, dripping down, sort of frozen in time on the ceiling. There's a water that is dribbling through, this beautiful tiny little stream that's going through. And there's a rhythm. It's the rhythm of the heart. Bum, 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 bum. And take your hands now, if you will, put them on your heart. And let's just take a moment. Feeling your breath in your own rhythm of your heart. There's a beautiful vibration and frequency in your heart, several actually in this heart center. And in this cave, you may be feeling different emotions. Maybe warm and lovely, or it may be comfortable. Maybe there's shadows in the corners somewhere. It feels a little bit brighter than somewhere else. Allowing yourself to feel that discomfort. Taking your hands on your chest and just beginning to pull away, pulling away, and begin to literally pull the energy off of you that you feel does not serve you. Allowing the feelings of sadness, anger, if there's despair, any of those emotions that you feel are holding you back, not allowing you to feel happiness and joy, contentment, allowing those emotions to leave you because there's a vibration coming from these crystals. Oh, yeah. Allow the vibration to begin to help you to move this negative energy, this dense energy. The cave is soaking it in, is taking it from you. Oh, to feel your heart begin to expand, your heart center. It's like that in the end of the Grinch, where the heart gets too big for the, when it breaks. Boing. Feel your heart begin to expand. Oh, the cave. It's like there's a glow, this beautiful, soft glow that is just becoming bigger. Allow yourself to feel. activating this heart center. Within this cave, allowing yourself to feel the warmth. A child has appeared, and the child is over there next to the stream, playing in the stream. The child is you, an aspect of you. Oh, you may feel some pain that this child has suffered, something this child went through that made her feel, him feel, them feel like they were not worthy, like they were afraid, like they couldn't have fun. There they are, playing in that stream. Not afraid, not alone. Having fun. Look at them, digging in there. There's all these stones in there. They're having a blast. All these bright, bright objects. Allowing yourself to walk over to them. Kneeling down. Looking yourself, this beautiful young self, in the eyes. Hello, can I play with you? Giving them the space and the time they need to say yes. You now looking into this stream with them. Look how everything glistens and glitters, and there's light coming from this stream. And this beautiful child wants you to reach in and play with the stones. You're picking them up. Notice that the child is holding this one particular stone, as it is so amazing. The crystals and all the cluster with it, the beautifulness. And the child is bringing it to you. Look at this child. Look at them in the eyes. They're offering this to you. An offering of love, of joy, of playfulness. If you are willing to accept this beautiful, beautiful gem, cup your hands around this child's. As the child puts it in your hands, with laughter and joy, giving it to you. There are more, they say. Don't worry, there are tons. We can do this again and again and again. I'm so excited. Look at them all. Let's start with this one. Bringing this one up to your mouth and blowing your breath onto it. Feeling the warmth in your hands of your breath. Now bringing that to your heart. This beautiful crystal of love and joy and wonder. Breathing in the power of this crystal. And as you do, feeling your heart center begin to expand around it to bring it right. You may feel places that are resistant against it. That's okay. Just breathe and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And then allowing for more room within you with joy and love and abundance, knowing that you can bring in more and more, more and more, reconnecting these aspects of yourself, feeling more wonder and more joy, more childlike, more love. With gratitude, we thank our child. With love, we look upon them. I so love you. I love you. I love you. Breathe in again. And as we do, we give gratitude to this cave, to our mother, to our sacred mother, to the mother of our birth, no matter what experience we had in life. Gratitude to the divine, gratitude to ourselves. So we begin now to re-notice our bodies and coming back into this moment, knowing that we have recollected and we have began the expansion of our hearts with love and blessings and gratitude. We thank you and we thank ourselves. Aho.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Lori, just want to say a few things to you about this. One is this is perfect for your mental health. We do need to touch on to our childlike sense of wonder, our inner child, and heal it, because that is especially for a lot of us, where some of our traumas and things come from. And, this is such a beautiful piece to start tonight off with. And, tell me a little bit about how you, sort of came up with this practice and where you got it from.
When I started my into shamanism at the time, I tell the story of how I had been told I had begun work at a public school and was in my third year. And, I was doing so good. I was getting all this praise and everything was going great. And suddenly new administration. And suddenly I was told I wasn't going to get tenure that year and had to have a fourth year. And then it began this process. There were other things going in my life as well. We had been raising someone else's children, and one had left. So there are all these things going on in my life. And what happened was all these old traumas in me were activated, and I began to feel like I couldn't do anything right. And all these old things that had happened to me were rising up. And then the administration just began to and I'm not a crier. I was crying all the time. I just felt like such a failure. And then I found, shamanism. So for that last year, the fourth year of this job, I was actually in this practice. And what was happening was I was so activated that it actually was easier for me to access the pain and also to confront myself. And it was a process that took many years. And in being able to look in the mirror and like myself, and to be able to go, and I did the practice of you are worthy, and to not allow myself to judge myself. I was big into a book called The Four Agreements, and one of the big ones is be impeccable with your word to yourself and to others. And I practiced that, and I created this practice. And through time, I moved on to another teaching job, and it's been a huge part of me. I talk about teaching with aloha, teaching with love, no judgment. Let's not project. If a child makes a mistake, then okay, if something goes, let's deal with it, but let's not carry it through. Let's not judge them on that. Even if they've had a series of difficulties, let's not project that they're going to end up in prison in 5 years.
Right.
We have to do that with us. We need to start with us. The same process we have to do with ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, and that is so important, especially coming from your experience as a teacher, as a foster parent, as a child yourself. I mean, how important and how impressionable that side of us or children are. And, the healing really does start there. And yeah, it just amazing. And if for any of you, as I mentioned, Lori is a practitioner on our EvolvMe site. She does many amazing services and practices. She even has an LGBTQ plus group with another practitioner, Sam, on Thursdays. So she is running the gambit of healing. And so definitely check her out on EvolvMe. Would you want to let the audience know, what services you offer currently? Yeah.
So I'm a medium as well as a shamanic practitioner, and so I would, if you come to me, you can have the intent. You can say that maybe you lost your mom, or you lost a loved one, and you want to do some work around that. We can also, oftentimes I find that leads right into something else. When we lose someone as a parent or a child, we lose an aspect of ourselves, or even I've lost brothers, and we lose a piece of ourselves. So we have to find a way to heal that. They're always with us. So work like that with soul work, like we sort of just did here, bringing in, and also the shamanic piece of healing traumas of some people come to me once to receive messages as a medium, and some people are now coming to me and saying, I really want to work with you on an ongoing basis. I want to really begin to heal these. And I actually have a few people who are beginning to say, oh, I want to learn more. So I'm also developing classes, especially around journey work, using journey work as a way to connect with our soul and receive messages.
I love it. Yeah. And, especially journey work, I think is so valuable, and also creating those symbols for, ways to heal. Yeah. Honestly, this, Lori, I've actually worked with her a couple of times. She's an amazing practitioner, and, especially combining shamanism and mediumship is just, it makes sense, right? With what you do. So definitely check her out. It's Lori Sheffer, and you can direct message her if you don't see, an available day that she's open. So definitely check her out on the EvolvMe site and on Evolving View, which is every Monday. We have a bunch of us practitioners just putting it all out there, unfiltered.
And we did a great one last night that you can actually go back to and watch. It was on What is Spirituality, and it was, I think, our best one yet. And and so you can find that. I know it's available on Restream or on a couple of sites that you can look at our ones.
Absolutely, on YouTube and Facebook. So just check us out there. And yeah, definitely check it. I got a chance to see it. I couldn't make it last night, and I was very sad because you guys just really such an interesting conversation, just awesome. So yeah. I'm mad.
Yeah, but, and last night was a good one because our stories, our lives, I like to think they're tapestries, and we don't. It's like you live many different books. You have different books, and your life is like a library, and you can choose when you're done, right? You can close the book. Now you're going to go back, you're going to reference it, but you don't have to be stuck in the story. And that's the cool part. Or like a tapestry, and you may look at your tapestry and go, this area over here, oh my, who was in charge of that weaving? I don't like that at all. Well, guess what? Here's some beautiful new thread. Well, go ahead, honey. You can redo it. And you get to weave in beautiful strands into your tapestry, because this is what you're wrapping around you now, is the energy. And it's back to love. It's the energy of love.
Absolutely. And when you love yourself, you regain that power. So often do we lose that power through traumas and life experiences, that sometimes we need to come back to our power. And what better way to do that than going back to your inner child, right?
That's right.
Well, thank you
you're welcome
so much. Yes. And Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
just
go
going to
ahead.
tell anybody. So, guys, next time there's a mud puddle, you don't have to walk around it. Just go right through it, especially in the summertime. Do you guys remember that? Remember how much
Oh,
you loved it?
yes. I will tell you, we just did an EvolvMe retreat. And one thing I want to mention is that I was looking at how beautiful we were in Nevada, and I was looking at how beautiful the landscape was. And I said, boy, I really want to just run screaming through this field. And one of the practitioners, Melanie, goes, "Let's just do it." So we stopped the car, and I just like at the top of my lungs, screaming and running like a crazy person. But nobody's around, nobody could see. But boy, did that feel good. Just going back to something if there were mountains or hills around, I would have rolled down those too. But yeah, going back and being a kid again, jumping through puddles, playing in them for a little bit too, is fun. So yes, and you always bring me back to that childlike sense of wonder, Lori. So thank you so much for that.
All right. Beautiful blessings, everybody.
Thanks to you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Yeah. So that was amazing. And let me introduce. Let's see. Let me remove her pin there and introduce our next practitioner. She is amazing as well. And her name is Mary Madsen-Heskin. Mary is a holistic therapist and Reiki master who also provides intuitive guidance and coaching so that young adults and adults can heal, grow, and transform. Her services are mindfully created to support clients fully minded, body and spirit, no matter where they are in their life path. Oh, amazing. Mary, also tonight, what she's going to do is heart chakra Reiki healing session to build a greater connection to self-love, self-compassion, and self-understanding, which are building blocks to improve mood, resiliency, and overall mental wellness. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. Thank you so much, Mary. And yes, she is an amazing practitioner. I've had a session with Mary, and before that, I've never had a Reiki session, and she really taught me a lot. And it was just amazing. She's a very powerful healing channel. So I'm very excited for everybody to meet Mary and experience this session. So hello there, Mary. Oh, I think there you are.
It looks like the host has to do the video for me.
The tech voice of the ether has come
Yeah.
to solve.
Who said that?
Who is that? Who is she? God is a woman, fellas.
Isn't she though?
Okay, there we go. Now I'm here.
There's that pretty face.
Hello. Yeah. Well, thank you for that lovely introduction. And thank you, Lori, for your practice. It just flows so nicely into what I wanted to do today. When we were talking a few months ago, actually, about what we could do for May for mental health awareness, one of the things that I was thinking about was how we can integrate a little bit of self-care, self-compassion, self-love. And that really helps us to feel grounded and to feel centered, to feel like we're really able to kind of go within and emotionally support ourselves. And I love that joyful playfulness, such a fabulous component of really solid mental health. When you think about people that are really struggling, they're usually not joyful, they're usually not playful, and they're really negating everything that their inner child's telling them. So thank you, Lori, for introducing that to us. And she really kind of set the stage for me with her, heart expansion, because we're going to be working more with the heart chakra. It's the whole kind of chest area. And just like she was talking about, when we have some blocks, when we start to feel depleted, that's when we start to have we have some wonkiness that comes in, whether it's an emotional kind of funk, whether it's drawing in the wrong type of relationships or jobs, or whether it's just feeling like you can't gain traction, you feel a little bit stuck. And so one of the things that we can do is just kind of open that, expand that heart chakra. With Reiki, we're going to do a little bit of distance Reiki. If you've never experienced Reiki before, there's nothing you have to do but kind of sit still and be open to receiving, which is kind of nice. It's one of the reasons I love Reiki is, when I'm receiving Reiki, I don't really have to do anything, which is always a good thing. So if you're brand new to it, basically what Reiki is if you think about acupuncture, it's basically the same thing, but without the needles. So we're still working with energy. We're still working along the meridians, but it's nothing with needles, which is good for me. So when I see clients, oftentimes they get a little frustrated with me when I talk to them about, if they're really struggling with some anxiety or even with depression, what can I do? What do I need to do? How can I get rid of this or improve my mood? And I always tell clients, like, let's get back to the basics. And I get a lot of eye rolls when they don't want to hear that. They want, something else. But really getting back to your basics, focusing on, am I sleeping enough? Am I moving my body throughout the day? Am I drinking enough water? Am I eating healthy foods? Am I staying connected? That was one of the things that Lori was talking about too, is like, we have to be connected to ourselves before we can be connected to anybody else in a significant way. So, are we staying connected? And one of the things that we can do for stress management, I'm biased because I think this is a fabulous stress management technique, is Reiki. Shameless plug for myself. But one of the things that we can do for stress management that doesn't take a lot out, it doesn't deplete us. What it does is it gives us back so much more. And the other basic, when I say go back to the basics, one of the basics, and this one's a little bit more challenging, is to start to think about self-love, self-compassion, self-healing. Self-care is so vital to mental health. And I think a lot of times we're not taught that. We're not taught that by parents. We're not taught that necessarily by our school. And sometimes, our partners don't know how to help us navigate that. And so this is just one tool, one technique that can kind of increase that self-love, self-care, self-compassion, is focusing on the heart chakra. So all that aside, what I'm going to have you do so you can experience a little bit of distance Reiki. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. If it's a little triggering for you to close your eyes and feel a little bit vulnerable, that's okay. You can keep them open. Just find somewhere to look at. But if you're going to close your eyes, take a deep breath in with me. I'm exhaling, but take it with me. And release it out. The element of air is associated with the heart chakra. So the easiest way for us to connect to the heart chakra is through our breath. And whatever your pace is, there's no right or wrong. Just taking deep breaths in and releasing them out. And if you need something to help you visualize staying centered on that energy in the middle, the heart chakra, imagine this area of your chest, that heart chakra area, having a brilliant green light, an emerald light in it. And allow that light to expand and grow to fill your whole heart chakra area. And in this moment of quiet, I'm just going to invite in our spirit guides and our Reiki guides. And if you don't know it, you have one. Any animal allies, ancestors, ascended masters, archangels and goddesses, all for your highest good. And you can set an intention simply to receive Reiki energy. Or if you have a specific intention, that's okay too. A specific intention for clearing, cleansing, for balancing, for expanding the heart chakra. Feeling physical in your energetic body with compassion and love. Reconnecting yourself to your highest self. Self so deserving of love, so deserving of compassion. So deserving of tenderness and care. Allowing with each breath to simply untangle any wounds, any hurts. Giving your younger self forgiveness and love. Allowing your heart chakra to be filled with the highest vibration of love. As you watch this live, or you watch it, you're still able to receive the healing love and light of Reiki. There's nothing that you've ever done that makes you less worthy of love. You're always pure. You're always whole. And you are always loved. There's a little bit of a crystal, small crystal I have. Just going to remove a little bit and blocked or stuck energy. And it doesn't serve you. The heart chakra space. Using the breath to release anything that comes up for you. The breath is an excellent way to move energy, especially in the heart chakra. Releasing the harsh words. Releasing the moments of fear. Releasing the anger. Instead, replacing it with that joy, that playfulness of that inner child, the wonder and awe at this amazing world. See your strengths and your gifts and talents. Finding gratitude for even difficult roads have lessons. Pain doesn't serve you, it only keeps you stuck. You can always return to a place of self-compassion and self-love by simply going within and place your hand on your heart, just as Lily had showed you. Feel the beat of your heart, the warmth. You connect to your higher self. It's always available to you. And we'll seal this energy just with a little sound. Anxious. It's going to do 2 more times. If it's quiet, it's going to get a little loud. And after Reiki, you can always have a little bit of time for yourself, a little bit of time to jot down maybe what came to you. Sometimes people have sensations that they feel. Sometimes their guides come and visit. Sometimes animal allies come to visit. Sometimes there's messages of things that they need to know about whatever was being worked on. And so you can always take a little bit of time to jot down for yourself if you noticed anything. Sometimes people don't notice it, and that's okay. Sometimes when we're really struggling with our mental health, we feel really disconnected from our body, and so we don't notice that those sensations come through. And that's okay to just know that even if you didn't feel anything, the Reiki was flowing to you and you were able to receive it. And knowing even if you're not attuned to Reiki, we're all born healers. We all have the capacity. So you're able to send yourself love and compassion just as any practitioner is able to send it to you as well. So hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of distance Reiki. I didn't want to put you to sleep or take you down too long of a journey. But hopefully that was something that you were able to receive in whatever way was meaningful for you.
That was beautiful and much needed. Absolutely. And you are just such an amazing Reiki healer and just intuitive in general. You do such great work, and you actually offer a lot of workshops and things like that on the EvolvMe site. Could you tell the listeners a little bit about some of the services that you provide?
Absolutely. Yeah. So right now I'm offering 2, but I know I'm going to do a few things in the future. One of them is just a distance Reiki session. And so it would be on Zoom, or it would be on the EvolvMe's version of Zoom, right? But it would be on the platform. And that's for any purpose. So if there is a healing, if there's something that you feel needs to be cleansed or cleared, if there's some balancing that you'd like. Sometimes we have some physical aches and pains that actually start out here energetically, work our way in. So if there's any emotional stuff that you want to work on, Reiki, I know I'm biased, but I think it's a fabulous way to heal and to release stuff that we don't even know is there, stuff that's kind of just in our blind spot and we just don't catch that. So distance Reiki is definitely something that people can book. I have, I think, 30 and 60-minute sessions. And then also a full chakra healing. So we would start at the crown and we would go down to the root. And then we would take out stuff that we don't need, not serving you, and then kind of fill it back up. And I know that we have a couple things coming up. We have something down the line, but I think I've done some, I call it Sacred Circle, but it's connecting either to new moon or full moon, the lunations. And then I write a guided meditation for that. And then I do a little distance Reiki. So it's kind of like, you get a couple of different things for a really low price. So I enjoy that as well.
I can't wait for that. And, so, in Reiki, because I'm still a novice, do you ever find that when you are doing a Reiki session for somebody that, is just kind of starting out, maybe has not really tapped into the power of their chakra system, do you feel that like, the first session, does that feel for them, does it open up a lot as opposed to like some people, in some sessions, even with me and some, trauma healing work, I find that first the floodgates open and it feels very painful, but then you start noticing, how does that work with some of your clients?
Yeah. I like to say every Reiki session is a little bit different. Every body is a little bit different. So what people receive is always going to be a little bit different. But the cool thing is, even if you don't even know what a chakra is, even if you don't understand my 2-minute Reader's Digest version of what is Reiki, you can still receive it. And it's interesting because sometimes people don't understand what their intuitive thoughts are, or their, feelings that they're having or sensations that they're experiencing. And it sort of connects the dots where they're like, oh, that was my intuition, or, oh, that was a message that was for me. So I feel sometimes it helps that process. I've had some clients that have never had Reiki sessions before tell me, they smelled particular smells that I didn't have in the room when I was physically with them. Or people, came to talk to them and they didn't realize that they had maybe some different senses. Maybe they were using clairvoyance or claircognizant or, any of the clairs. And so sometimes it can open and expand everything. The other thing I think for new people is there is a little bit of hesitancy that like, I don't want to do it wrong. And there is no like right or wrong. It's just receiving. And so I've had some clients that feel very resistant to receiving. And so their first session's a little bit different than like their third session maybe, but everybody's a little different. And I say, even for clients that I have seen for a while, it's still different on my end. I'll receive different messages or I'll feel different sensations when I'm, providing Reiki. So it's, I always say it's totally unique session by session.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, because it really does, do a lot more than just, let's say, healing that specific thing that you come in for, right?
Yeah.
It really does open you up and helps with the flow of your own energy, and it works with it. And, so how often do you suggest, let's say, for the average client, how often would you say to go in for a Reiki healing, sort of like a recalibration?
Yeah. So if they're just looking for a reset, kind of just trust your body and know, like when you're starting to feel like your energy is lagging, or you're maybe struggling with making decisions, or it feels like, if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Like, okay, come on in. Right. If you have, sometimes we can have like physical complaints, like, oh, my my knee's really hurting. For that, I do recommend people come in a little bit more frequently so we can see what's happening, because usually there's some energetic component behind that. So for something that we're kind of treating, spot checking, we're really focused on that one area. I say like a couple times within a month. Otherwise, people can space it out as much as they want based on how they're feeling. I do have some clients, just like some people go and get, facials or massages. I do have some clients that I see every other week or once a month, just so they can feel like they're energetically open, and they're releasing anything that's not serving them. So, there's probably a little bit of a difference. Kind of the cool thing, well, again, shameless plug. The cool thing about my background, I'm a therapist as well. And so 25 years of therapy, I can say to people, okay, so we receive these messages. Here's some suggestions of what you can do for that. And, my role within Reiki is not the same as a therapist, but I can give people some ideas for strategies of what they can do, and then give them some direction. I'm only licensed for therapy in Illinois. So if somebody lives outside of Illinois, I can send them to somebody maybe in another state that they can start working with. Or, I can give them some strategies that I call coaching, but it's intuitive guidance. So yeah, that's helpful too.
No, absolutely, because it is about opening up that healing, and of course that is such a benefit that you are also a therapist, and when it comes to healing, we have so many layers, and yeah, I mean, in any given situation, we're soaking in all the energy around us. So even for us practitioners, we're continuously soaking in some of that energy, and sometimes taking in some of those traumas. So for me, I have to have regular healing sessions, because it does get to you. So practitioners, people that aren't practitioners, all will benefit from your service. So definitely.
And I think that the really cool thing about EvolvMe is that there's so many different practitioners. And so you can kind of test out, like, what is the best thing for me? Is it a shamanic practice, right? Am I needing a medium? You can kind of see what you're needing to help you move forward. And we're all a work in progress. We're never done, right? We think that we finish one thing and it cycles over again. And that's another really neat thing about the EvolvMe practitioners, is they're all open to their personal growth. They're all still working. And so I think that really working on themselves. And so I think that really helps to provide, any service to a client, because I'll tell clients, like, what's come up for me, recently, or, what I had to overcome. And I think it's really helpful for my end and the client's end to know that, okay, you're on the same path. We're all working it together. And I think part of that self-care, self-love, self-compassion is being open to recognizing what we're needing and what service, tool, strategy that we can implement or provide, sometimes for ourselves, sometimes seek out from other people, but just to help us feel grounded and rooted again. So yeah, I'm with you. I gotta go get myself strained out every once in a while to just clear stuff out and just feel like I can launch forward again. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And, and what's great is, we aren't here at EvolvMe. We're not about the guru syndrome. We don't have all the answers, but one thing we are willing to do is help and give guidance where we can. And, and that is the most important, especially for people that really don't really understand the space and how this is how this can help you. We are very honest about what we do and how this can help. And if we can't help you, then we know a ton of practitioners that can.
Yes, exactly. It's so good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to thank you so much, Mary. You are, like I said, I've had sessions with Mary, and she is amazing. And anybody who is seeking that extra healing or feels stuck in some way, definitely go to Mary on EvolvMe. So thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you. And yeah, if if anybody is interested, you can message Mary directly on her EvolvMe profile. And if you don't see like a service or time that works for you, Mary is very flexible too.
That I
All that
am.
Reiki. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So we have next Karen Hibble, who is another yet amazing practitioner on EvolvMe. Karen is an Akashic record reader, hypnotic past life regression facilitator, and her empowering healing modalities lead to, I think all that Reiki is getting to my head. Her empowering healing modalities lead to a deeper connection to self and therefore spirit. So, and thank you so much, Karen. And I'm going to pin you before I introduce what you're going to do. Oh, that was Lori. I'm not going to pin you, Lori. Let's see. There you are, Karen. You hopped away. Okay. So yes, and Karen tonight is going to be doing a guided journey, directive script journey, a hypnotic journey. I wrote that way too many times. In the subconscious, where beliefs are stored to bring in more balance and making time for self-care. Oh my goodness. And I will say, Karen, I do love a good journey. And I know I've had a session. Listen, one thing about one perk about being the founder of EvolvMe is I get to know and get services from some of the most amazing practitioners I have ever seen in my vast years of experience. So I've had a session with Karen, and I will tell you, it's amazing. And she is a wonderful reader, but also an amazing healing facilitator. So thank you so much, Karen. I'm very excited.
Thank you, Theon, so much. That was so sweet. FYI, thunderstorms coming right now. So
Oh gosh.
I know, I'm hearing thunder. It's like, oh my gosh, I hope the electricity doesn't go out. So, all right. Well, welcome everyone. And again, I'm Karen Hibble, and tonight I'm going to guide you in a trance journey that focuses on self-care. And I know that I have struggled to even consider making time for myself for self-care. And honestly, until 2 years ago, I felt guilty about taking time for myself because I've been conditioned, like many of us, to stay busy, always doing something. But the world is realizing and going back to the importance of putting value for the self. The trance or hypnotic state feels very calming, and your brain waves slow down from beta, the cognitive attention, to the alpha and theta state, where your body relaxes, your creativity increases, and you're able to connect your intuition to your subconscious mind. The conscious and subconscious work together. Whenever the conscious mind commands, whatever the subconscious mind commands, whatever the conscious mind commands, the subconscious obeys. Whatever you think, whatever you say, the subconscious will be faithful, unquestioning, to make sure it stays in alignment. The subconscious can hold things that sabotage us, the things that we tell ourselves, our belief systems. Sometimes they're less than what we really want. My trance journey will allow you to tap into your subconscious, and to help get there, you should use your 5 senses. So if you aren't able to visualize in your mind's eye, like if I say, see a red fire truck, and you can't, I want you to focus on your other senses. What can you smell? What can you hear? What kind of emotions come up? And even what do you just know? Trust yourself and trust your relaxation, and you'll experience positive changes that will benefit your body, mind, and soul. For this journey tonight, you'll just need to be in a relaxed reclined chair or bed with limited to no distractions. But if there's a thunderstorm where you are, and you'll be aware of what's happening around you, and you can easily open your eyes and come out of the state at any time that you wish, and know that you are perfectly safe and you're just listening to ways to incorporate more time for self-care in your life. So let's start by just taking a few deep breaths here. So we'll do a deep inhale and hold at the top, and a long exhale here. And just one more time, a deep inhale and a long exhale. And I want you to sit back or lie back, whichever is more comfortable, and just go ahead and close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I want you to imagine, see, or trust that you're walking on a path in a forest. It's a well-worn dirt trail. And there's moss and wildflowers, mushrooms, surrounded by tall trees. Peeking through the leaves, dappling sunlight dots the trail. You feel the eroding rocks under your boots as you continue your journey. The air is cool upon your face in the shaded forest. As you walk along, you can smell the scent of the dirt and the scent of the fragrant flora, like the flowers and the pine needles. You feel, know, or trust that each step you may hear the crunch of twigs or leaves under your feet. You find a spot to rest. It may be a rock or a log to sit on. It may be a patch of moss to lie upon, or it may be a small opening to a meadow that you can relax in the wild grasses. Either way, it's very peaceful, calm, and relaxing, and you rest here. I want you to imagine there's a root extending from the bottom of your spine. Imagine this root continuing down your legs, through the bottoms of your feet. It continues to grow, going through the floor, through the dirt under the building, and past the large dark rocks that are deep in the soil. Imagine this root going farther down as it extends just as wide as it is deep. These roots hold you stable and steady, grounding you to the earth, keeping you grounded and pulling you firmly in your seat. Now imagine or trust there's a healing light shining down over your head. Allow this healing light to be your favorite healing color. It's almost as if this healing light relaxes you twice as deep as it cascades over the top of your head. It permeates your head and neck and shoulders, blanketing you with warm calm, loosening your shoulders and neck, What would it look like? What would it feel like if those muscles were to relax 3 times as much, soothing away any tension, any outside noises only increases your relaxation. Your breathing becomes a shade darker with each more relaxing breath. Feel the body rest more firmly against what you're lying on or sitting against. This healing light of relaxation wraps around your arms and easing your hands, weaving in and out of each and every muscle, enveloping and illuminating your torso, softening your hips and legs, and melts all the way down to your toes. Your body is cloaked in utter relaxation. This healing light creates a protective bubble around you, keeping you safe, relaxed, and calm on your journey. I'm going to be silent for a few moments, allowing you to naturally and automatically deepen your state of relaxation, trusting yourself that you will go even deeper and internalize this restful state all on your own. Now, you are going to realize you do have time for self-care. I allow myself time for self-care. I happily create time for myself. I easily find the time to tend to my own needs. I read my body's cues to slow down. I benefit myself by integrating self-care. I trust myself and my body's cues. I am important, and so is my self-care. There's enough time in the day to take time for myself. Investing time in myself makes me feel balanced. I make time for myself. Taking care of myself makes me feel rested and rejuvenated. By prioritizing my self-care, I have a full cup to give to others. I consistently incorporate time for relaxation. I trust my intuition. I have hobbies that brings me joy. My intuition reveals to me what type of self-care to give myself. Self-care allows me to stay physically and mentally, emotionally well. I am resilient. And I'll give you a moment just to incorporate that. I am grateful. I express my gratitude daily. I am joyful. I happily create time for myself. I read my body's cues to slow down. I trust myself and my body's cues. There's enough time in the day to take time for myself. Investing time in myself makes me feel balanced. By prioritizing my self-care, I have a full cup to give to others. I trust my intuition. Self-care allows me to stay physically, mentally, and emotionally well. I have a regular sleep routine. I eat healthy. I find time and enjoy going out in nature. I nourish myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in the ways I know best. I am grateful. I express my gratitude daily. I am important, and so is my self-care. In a few moments, I will bring you back into full waking consciousness by counting up from 1 to 5. With each number, you will be more and more awake, more alert, filled with beautiful energy. 1, becoming aware of the room you are in. 2, gently waking now, deeply satisfied with this experience. 3, moving fingers and toes, more and more awake, more alert. 4, breathe in deep with more movement in your arms and legs. 5, blinking your eyes open and you're fully awake, fully aware of your surroundings, ready to move to the next part of your evening. And just take a moment to recalibrate, come back to the room, and feel free to journal your experience that you had. And thank you.
Wow. I didn't want to come out of that. That was amazing. Oh my gosh. Karen, boy, I didn't think I needed that. I I was just supposed to be hosting tonight, and but it's funny is that as much as we think that we incorporate self-care into our lives, you do find that sometimes it's deeper than that. Your self-love, self-care doesn't necessarily mean get a facial or a massage. It means really doing the deep inner work. And I want to say that was so helpful, not just to me, I'm sure, but to anybody that, sometimes needs that little reminder that we are all, we're all not just vessels for facilitating others' growth or facilitating your family's needs or other people's needs in general, right? Giving yourself self-love is not selfish. And because how can you be a strong facilitator of others' needs when you can't give it to yourself?
Right.
So what a beautiful reminder, and what a beautiful, I want to say, and I'm sure everybody's going to agree with me, doesn't she have the best meditation voice? I'm like, got me.
Oh, thank you. And what I love about this is it's going into the subconscious is what I really love about like this whole hypnosis thing, is that, you can do a guided meditation and you're just kind of like, we're here, but then it's like, we're going to a deeper level with the subconscious and getting it in our head. It's like, I am going to make time for myself. It is important that I take care of myself, and I'm going to make time. I'm going to prioritize, right?
Yes. And oh my gosh, same. I love doing journey work, and because you have that hypnosis background, that it really does sink in. And I love how you put in those that sort of self-talk for manifesting these things, and reminding yourself to put out into the universe that this is what I want, this is who I am, and this is how I feel. And such a great reminder, even if you can't just sit in a state like a light trance state all the time,
Right.
You incorporating these mantras or in your everyday life really does help. Just like when we say, oh well, I'm not that great at this, or I can't do that. It's the same thing. We are training ourselves, and you're and I loved what you said in the beginning, where our subconscious mind is really guided by our conscious mind.
That's
right.
That's right.
Yeah. And when you create symbols or mantras or positive affirmations, it helps that much more. And we may not notice it on that conscious level, but it really does help to build and open up blocks that we didn't sometimes know we had. Just in your everyday life. And, how many times a day do you put yourself down and you don't even know it? And, so when you retrain your brain, that, right, it helps with that mental health, and it helps with that outlook. It's funny, as I had a client earlier, and that was one of their things, is the self-defeating. Every time I do this, it's always me that does that. No, it's not. It's not always you. If you break that pattern of thinking that way, so. Thank you. And I could talk to you about this all day. So Karen, tell us a little bit about your practice, and obviously we know you do these amazing journeys, but what else do you do?
Yeah. So I'm an Akashic Record reader. And so the Akashic Record, if you don't know, it's like your soul's imprint of the past, present, future. So as a reader, I go into your records and I can talk to your guides and bring up any past lives that's affecting you now. We can talk about the present, about what's happening now, and getting advice from your guides. And potential future is like, what trajectory are you on? What's the best? So the guides aren't going to tell you what to do, but they are there to guide you, right? Give you helpful hints. And I also do past life regressions via hypnosis. And I just love this so much. You have an intention, you want to figure out why is whatever, and we'll visit a past life. And then we do some emotional clearing while in hypnosis. And then you get a chance to talk to your spirit guides. I mean, this is your chance to get information. And so those are the two things that I'm offering right now.
How empowering, and that is the point, right? Is to be the facilitator of someone else's growth, and to allow them or to empower them to have the tools to go back. It's not just about the one session; it's about that that growth journey. And for you, giving them those tools within a hypnotic state, or a trance journey, or just in a reading, is that much more valuable than somebody going and asking for help and getting an answer. It doesn't feel as empowering, right?
Right.
And with you, with what you do, and with all of these practitioners here on EvolvMe, is that we are not about the guru syndrome. We are about facilitating others' growth, because we are of service in that way, and not necessarily the one sitting on a pedestal giving you our interpretation of the answer. So it is really about you, that the growth and the healing starts there. And just an amazing offering, and offerings, I will say. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and Karen, you can reach out to Karen on the EvolvMe site if you are interested in her services, and she doesn't have a set time that interests you, or you're available for. I reach out to Karen, and you guys can work that out. But I would say, a very powerful, strong healing journey. If you're interested in that, look Karen up on the EvolvMe site.
Thank you, Theon.
Thank you so much for being here. And I just want to say, for all of you, and Lori and Mary and everyone here, what a beautiful way to express our love, our self-love, and our inner child. Today was just an amazing theme of, empowerment, and all of the tools that you need to help you on your journey, and your mental wellness journey, actually. So and so many great things are coming up on EvolvMe, and I do want to kind of do a little bit of a shout out to all the amazing things that are coming up. So this was our second within a series of 3 May mental wellness workshops. Next week, we are going to have, and this is this is our third and final, on Tuesday at 7 p.m., Tuesday the 30th. We're starting with Julie Starr. She's going to have a discussion, the differences between flourishing and languishing, and research-based interventions to improve subjective well-being. It's going to be amazing. And then next we'll have I always say it incorrectly, Nitya Ramjaya. She will be doing a Kundalini tantric yoga session. So get your spandex on, get your yoga suit on. I guess, is that how you say? I'm still new to yoga, so. But anyway, she's going to be doing a yoga session she's going to open your chakras and do a clearing by combining movement, mantra, and mudras and pranayama to help balance and ground. It's going to be amazing. And also, by the way, she's also my sister. She's amazing. And I've taken her classes a great deal of times. And then finally, I will be ending our May Mental Wellness workshops with yet another guided journey. This will be training your subconscious to achieve your goals and empowering guided light trance journey to clear obstacles and create a space within your subconscious to help clear your path to your goals. So lots of healing and lots of self-empowerment will be happening this month, as you can see. And I just want to thank all of the practitioners tonight and from last week for volunteering their time to offer this to all of you. And I'm very excited about that, about how much this community comes together to really help others. So I definitely thank everyone for that. But we also, every Monday, we have the Evolving View. That's where a bunch of us practitioners have these amazing conversations that really just kind of strip away all of the love and light to give you the real, the real facts about spirituality and all the different things that we really want to know that we can't really Google. So, and it's definitely real spiritual talk, unfiltered. But yeah, definitely join us. That's 8:00 every Monday. And that streams to YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Definitely something to check out. We have a great deal of workshops and things coming up. So I ask you to check out the EvolvMe.com site to learn more about the community, the groups and clubs that we have, and all of the workshops coming up. I know Lori Albert has a manifesting workshop, and that's coming up next week. So definitely check that out. And I know our Annette Green will be doing, I think, June 3rd. I don't even have the stuff around me, but I know you guys so well. And Annette Green will be doing the Sophia Code. And this is a 13-week course, and it goes into every detail. She is an amazing practitioner. So I definitely want you all to check that out and, on the EvolvMe site. So with that, I just want to send everyone love and light, and just a wonderful May and Mental Wellness Month. So thank you all, and we'll see you all next week. And thank you all. Thanks, Lori. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Sky, Kim, all of you. Thank you so much. Have a good night.